Today, Chope's Town Cafe and Bar in the rural community of La Mesa may be off the beaten path, but for much of the 20th century, Chope's was considered the social destination for Southern Doña Ana County. The significance of this family business helped turn a New Mexico State University student project into a year-long effort to land Chope's on the National Register of Historic Places. Addison Warner, now an NMSU graduate, has been working on this project with his partner, NMSU student Norma Hartell.
We started to see that the history and the family and everything is very historic and a legendary part of actually the whole country itself, but definitely here La Mesa and New Mexico culture with the food and everything.
Chope's has a direct connection to U.S. agricultural history. In the early 1940s, the country established the Bracero program, a guest worker program with Mexico to fill massive voids in the agricultural sector as farm workers left to serve overseas during World War II. Norma Hartell has a personal connection to that history. She says that the Braceros would frequent Chope's as customers and sometimes paid for their meals with crops they had picked that same day.
And to me that was important because both of my grandparents were Braceros, so I started realizing how that affected the United States and especially agricultural communities like La Mesa and local businesses like Chope's.
The history of Chope's goes back to 1915 when Loquina Benavides opened a small dining room in her home to area residents. Locals knew that when the outside lamp of Loquina's home was lit, they could find fresh enchiladas for sale. Later, her son, Jose Chope Benavides, and his wife Guadalupe would take over the cafe and build a bar next door. The couple raised their daughters just steps away from the kitchen of the cafe. Dr. Beth O'Leary, a retired NMSU professor, worked with her former students, Warner and Hartell, to get Chope's on the State Register of Cultural Properties. She says the history of this cafe and bar speaks for itself.
Where the Bracero program was incorporated into the cuisine, and where the family since 1915, the women especially, have been cooking this marvelous food and preserving in the family the recipes and the skills that they brought with them when they came to this country.
Margie Martinez, Emilia Rivas, and Cecilia Yanez, the daughters of Jose and Guadalupe Benavides, have owned and operated Chope's Town Cafe and Bar since their father passed away in 1990. Margie Martinez says that her father, who was known as Chope, was a charismatic figure in the community.
The customers loved him and he loved people. My mother is a wonderful person. She is a wonderful cook, very giving, and they taught us to be good with people, to find good in everyone, and to treat people well.
According to Emilia Rivas, she and each of her sisters always seem to have different opinions and thoughts when it comes to running the historic cafe and bar, but at the end of the day, the one thing they always agree on is that they still consider the place to belong to their mother, 97-year-old Guadalupe Benavides, who is still in the restaurant every day.
We do everything for my mother. Everything's on paper, but we always remind ourselves it's my mother's business. It's not our business. It's my mother's.
Cecilia Yanez says growing up at Chope's Town Cafe and Bar has been an experience that she wouldn't have any other way.
Well, it's a kind of life that I wouldn't want to trade. I cannot see myself in another kind of life. It's been a lot of work. It's been hard work, but it is something that I have enjoyed very much.
Ava Janelle Woodward was raised on a farm near Chope's. She has been coming to the cafe and bar since high school.
And I think this is the best place to live, and Chope's is the best place to eat. I just had red enchiladas.
Whether it's red or green chili enchiladas or even Chope's famous chili rellenos, the one thing you can count on is that you could still find the original recipes of Loquina and Guadalupe Benavides being served today. And the work to get Chope's on the National Register of Historic Places is seeing progress. The Cultural Properties Review Committee in Santa Fe has unanimously passed that Chope's Cafe and Bar here in La Mesa be added to the State Register of Cultural Properties. It now moves to the National Register of Historic Places. For KRWG, I'm Anthony Moreno.